Hey guys, welcome back. So audio is a little different because I lost my earbuds. I think I left them in my loaner car. So, oops. Looks like I'll probably be buying a new set. But anyway, working on the car. Last time we were working, we found that I think this side was at like about 1.5 degrees of negative camber, and this side was at about 3.5 degrees of negative camber. And we're not really sure why they're different, but they are. And that was setting the adjusters. Like in the middle here, you have that's where your adjusters go on the lower control arm. We had both of those set in like a neutral position, and that's what we got. And we had the car like perfect ride height and all that. So anyway, we determined that we were going to extend the upper control arms, and then we discovered that's not going to work, so we actually need to shorten the lower control arms to do the same thing. So there's the driver's one. And essentially our plan is chop a little section out right here and chop a section out there, and that'll move this piece this way and then weld it back on. And if you look, you can tell there's a short section from here to there where it's straight. That's where we're going to cut, because if we cut anywhere else, then it's just going to be a nightmare. So that's the plan. We've actually already started on one of these, but I just wanted to show you guys the plan. So this is the one we started on. So what I did, and we'll see if this works, but I basically just put a piece of tape down. And if you look at this straight up and down, the marks basically line up with the edge of that tape. And then over here, I did the same thing, except it lined up with that edge. And then you can see I put marks to that showed with this direction here and over there. Whoops. That's your left and right. And then I already cut the section out. I'll show you guys that in a second, but this is what it looks like. So these aren't perfectly where they go yet. I just kind of threw them there. We're going to actually get some kind of metal and something and kind of jig that to where it'll be still. Our goal is we're going to get it kind of jigged up exactly where it goes, bring the TIG welder over here, and we're just going to put like 3 tack welds probably, maybe even 2, probably 3. Probably put 3 tack welds on each one where we think it goes. And then this part kind of sucks, but I basically already took the bushings out of here. I had poly bushings, and I took them out. And I had to use a press. It sucks. And we got to put them back in, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack weld in 2 or 3 spots on each one. We're going to go put it back on the car, and we're going to confirm a couple of things. One, that we actually put these lined up good enough that you can still put the bolts in and put this on the car, because if you weld these 2 crooked, it won't even go together. So we're going to confirm that that works. But we're also going to, and this also sucks even more, we're going to put all this shit back together. The upright, the control arm, shock, the wheel, the tire, and we got to do it on both sides, and we already pulled that one too. So basically we're going to put the entire car back together and set it back down on its own weight again and check the camber. And it should be basically 0 when the adjusters are set at 0. And it was at 3.5. And I'm pretty sure we're going to do that because you're essentially making sure we did our math right. I think I did the cut right. I haven't actually checked it, but I guess we could do that. But we cut a section out. Our goal was to cut out 0.53 inches. And I don't know if we haven't measured it. I don't really know what we did, but I would assume I did this right. Let's see. Here's a caliper. I had this caliper set at 0.53 just to kind of mark it. So this section measures 0.55. Well, that's got a burr. There we go. 534. So we probably overcut it. Funny enough, we actually cut almost exactly what we needed to remove. However, the saw blade, we also cut the thickness of the saw blade. So that's actually showing about 0.53 on that one. I thought I corrected for that, but it looks like I still overdid it. 0.54. So we're actually pretty consistent. Look at that, 0.54 on both ends. That's impressive. So pretty consistent, but we overdid it. Let's see what this blade measures. About 22 or so, 23. So times 2, that's about 46. So we probably cut about 50 thou over what we intended. So we were trying to shoot for 0.53. We probably cut off 0.57. Which means we're going to have more positive camber than we intended, if all that's right. So we may have slightly, but I mean, hey, 50 thou error, that's not that much. Also, when we weld this, we could just leave a teeny little gap when we weld, and I could just pretend like that's what I was doing the whole time. LOL. So we're good. Yeah, we'll probably just do that. We'll just leave a tiny gap when we weld them back on. Problem solved. See? My accident is, I'm going to say it was intuition. But anyway, that's the 2 chunks we cut out. We just used our porta-band. I have this thing set up with like a table, so it comes with that piece. And you can use it as a vertical bandsaw, so I changed it back out to this little, what it came with, so I could use it this way. Yeah, we cut that out, popped our bushings out, and that's where we're at right now. The next thing, probably going to call it a night for now, but the next step is we got to get our TIG welder set up. I got an extension cord for it. I got to go drag that out and get it plugged in. Get the TIG welder set back up for this, argon, all that stuff, take a little bit, and then we got to fixture this like we said. And once it's all good, tack it up, reassemble all this crap, and I think what we're going to do is probably put this one side together, like, you know, put the whole car together, but basically we'll put this together, and the car, I don't think the ride height should change, so really it shouldn't affect the other side much. But basically when we put our camber adjusters at 0, we expect the tire to be very, very close to 0 degrees camber, hopefully within like, you know, 0.1 or 0.2 degrees, something like that. We were off by 3.5 degrees and we had to take off 0.53 inches, so I mean, like I said, we're hoping we're damn close to 0. And if we are, that means we got our math right, and at that point, we'll take it all apart, finish welding this one, and we will just go ahead and fully do this one without checking it. Because at that point, we know that we did our math right. And that's going to be the plan. And if it all goes smooth, then basically by the end of day tomorrow, both of these control arms will be done, back on the car, and our camber will be fixed. So, yay for progress, or what's hopefully going to turn into progress. All right, guys, y'all take it easy.